Hey, welcome to Conscious Mind Tripping yet again on a Wednesday night. Here I am with my very special guest. My name's Audrey Newmont, and we have Alexandra, one of my dearest friends, and she will be channeling for us Golden Arrow this evening. But first, we get to talk to Alexandra, and let me just make sure that I am able to see any comments here. Hold on. Make sure that I'm live on my Facebook. Yes, I am. So I better turn down the volume. My computer decided to freeze up on me. So I need to have my computer guy uh, getting over here and taking care of things. Okay. So there we are. I see us. I see the comments. And
All right.
yay. So welcome. I'm going to just say, Alexandra, there is a lot going on. And people are really feeling the effects of so many things. So I really want to make tonight an opportunity for people to write in with any questions, any comments, anything that they've got going on, and, see how we can be of assistance in overcoming some of the stuff. And I want to start out just by saying something just really quick because it seems to be a theme of the day. A lot of people are triggered. That seems to be a nice keyword these days. Well, that triggers me. This triggers me. That triggers me. And I was telling one of my clients, because she said in the last session that there was a lot of triggers, and she had quite the week. And then in the session that she had yesterday, man, all those triggers. You said it last time, and I want to get into it a little bit more. It's like when we have a lot of triggers, it's like there is a boil underneath the skin, and those triggers, it's like the triggers are when you're pushing that boil to get to the surface. It's like we've all got these things that are going on inside of us, and when I'm questioning, when I'm looking at things, when I'm having these conversations with people, and they say, "Well, it's a lot of triggers." It's like, yeah, because we're pushing and we're looking to get that stuff to the surface so that it erupts so we can get rid of it. But I think that there has been a part of it where we just have not learned yet to make the triggers okay and make it all right to have these hard moments that we are working through. So, can you give some insight to how to help people work through these things?
Sure. And you might also want to bring this up with Golden Arrow as well when I
Mm-hmm.
go into trance. Um, but the first thing that came to mind for me when you said triggers and the boil and pushing the boil and bringing everything up is we as a humanity have not yet mastered our emotions. When I say mastered, I mean look at them, really feel them, identify them. Because once we've done all of that, then when there is a trigger, we can look at that trigger as an opportunity to take a look at the emotion that is coming up with that trigger. And when you're in the trigger, it's volatile. It's really a lot of energy and a lot of vibration behind it. So as we go through our life experiences, looking at what our triggers are that are all based in emotions, when we look at the emotionality of it and where that began, it's much easier to look at the trigger and say, this is my opportunity to grow and to become more, rather than getting caught up in the whirlwind and the drama and the vibrational upheaval that's there.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go from trigger to trigger, we're really living unconsciously, not consciously at all. When, and let me say this, It's a practice to look at our emotions, our individual emotions. That trigger brings up a common emotion, an anger or a frustration or a hatred or a confrontation. Doesn't matter what it is, we all have a common denominator trigger. So for me, over the years, it has been really beneficial for me to look at what my individual triggers are. I'm going to share with you and our audience what my trigger is. It may help others take a look at what theirs are. I was born to a mother who didn't want me. She didn't want to be pregnant. She had just had a baby 3 months before she got pregnant with me. So she did not want to be pregnant again. And she had a tough pregnancy with me. A lot of throwing up, vomiting, blah, blah, blah. So all through her pregnancy, she resented the fact that she was pregnant and did not want me. And in that time frame, she tried to abort me. This was many, 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 many years ago. And there was not really the methods of aborting at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless, I was born to a mother that didn't want me, that didn't really love me because it was something that she didn't want. So I was born into the emotionality of not being loved and not being wanted. So my trigger is when anybody that I'm talking to or my spouse or whatever walks out of a conversation. This is the main trigger for me. Common. When they walk out on me and they don't want to continue the conversation, then I feel what? I feel abandoned. I feel unloved. I feel unwanted. I feel all of that. So the emotion that I have is, how could you do that to me? And there's an anger behind it. Many, many years ago, there was more anger than there was anything. Now it's just frustration. But now, when that trigger happens to me, I'm able to say to myself, not to anybody else, because it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. They just hit my trigger for me to look at what's going on for me. I want everybody to know and understand that it has nothing to do, the trigger that you have has nothing to do with anybody else. They're giving you an opportunity to take a look at what your trigger is. So it's all about you and your trigger. So for me now, when someone walks out of the room or doesn't agree with me or whatever, I just take a look at, wow, this is my opportunity now to take a look at and to heal this emotion that I have about not being loved and not being wanted. It all, for me, all emotions come back to that, because that's how I came into this particular incarnation, this particular life. That's what I came in to experience. So for everybody else, identify what the emotion is when you have that trigger. Identify not only what it is, but where it began. What's the foundation of that trigger? And that's what all counseling is about. That's what all therapy is about, is understanding what the trigger is and when it began. If you want to really grow past the trigger, identifying when it began and what the foundation was. So Golden Arrow teaches everybody, all of humanity, that all of the emotions that we have about something happens from 0 when you're born to the age of 7. And after 7 is when you just relive the patterns that you set up on, Golden Arrow calls it a CD-ROM. You set up a CD-ROM when you're born, it's identified before you incarnate even what you are setting out to learn about yourself in this lifetime. I'm hoping that everybody understands that life doesn't just happen. Life is set up and programmed by you. Nobody else does it for you. Nobody else chose your parents. You choose them. You choose your parents before you even incarnate, because this is the lesson that you set out that you're going to have in this particular lifetime. And it goes all the way from zero to the time that you drop the body and you die and you end this particular incarnation, this particular life. It goes all the way through your whole life. Nothing changes. You set out that CD-ROM from 0 to 7, and it continues to play and replay and replay and replay until we realized that there was a CD-ROM that we set up for ourselves. And when we realize why we came here, having this human body, how many people, what are the percentages of people on the planet actually think that there's a reason why they're here? I
You
don't
know,
think it's very large.
I want to say something, because that part where you say it's from 0 to 7, it's important. Like, for instance, in your story, believe it or not, your story is a fairly common story. I've got a few clients right now that have a very similar story, and it's always, very unique to each individual, but there can be themes that are apparent. Like, I have a similar kind of version of your story, and it's important for people to get it's 0 meaning being in the womb.
Yes.
So when we're in the womb as a baby, we come in and we're feeling the mother's emotions. We're
Yes.
feeling that kind of feeling. So you're in already where you're going, oh my gosh, this
Yes.
doesn't feel good. I don't feel nurtured. I don't feel loved. And then you come into that experience of it. And so as a little girl, as a baby, we don't have that ability to discern that it's not about us. It was never about you. It was about your mother and her story, and you were a part of it. And people make it about themselves. Like, the amount of times I've heard people say, I wasn't wanted. And it's like, well, it's not that you weren't wanted. A baby wasn't wanted. It wasn't about you. You
Yes.
came into the experience. But when we're a little girl or a boy, whatever, and we're learning that and we're being in that experience, and we're like, I'm just not wanted. And then we define ourselves that way. The challenge is to understand all of that, what we just said, you said, and to be what I call the adult in the front seat, and understand that's the program. It's not that I wasn't wanted. I came into an experience where my mother had this going on, my father had that going on, whatever siblings had, whatever they had going on, and we took that on as true. And we created from that place. And importantly, and this is a very big theme right now, it's important to get, as much as that had been the program, you get to reprogram and create from this new place of, wait, I
Exactly.
want me. you know, I want
Exactly.
this, and I am. What are those things that then you're redefining yourself as, and what it is that you're doing?
Exactly. I want to also interject here that we we are our mother, and our mothers were their mothers, and their mother was their mother. So I am my great 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 grandmother. If you want to, if you want to take a look at how we all set up this pattern that we all can identify with. My mom um, was the last child born. I think she was the fifth child, and her mom had cancer, and her mom died when she was less than a year old. She was just born, and she had no mother. So talk about not abandonment and feeling like you're not wanted and loved. And her father was an alcoholic. So neighbors across the street, when she was 6, took her in and said to her alcoholic father, we would like to raise your daughter. Would that be all right? And he says, sure, take her.
Wow.
So that was my mom. So why would it be much different for me not being wanted, you know? And really, now let's get down to the bottom line here. This is my life. This is your life, Audrey. No one else's life. I'm responsible for everything that I understand, whatever I don't understand. I'm responsible for me, my body, how I take care of my body or don't, how I think or don't. I'm responsible for all of that. I cannot blame that on anybody else. And I think that that is a really valid point to bring up here is there is no blame going on. You cannot blame anybody else for what you are experiencing. These are your experiences. These are your feelings. And it's up to you / me to understand how and why I set all that up. The great part about all of this is the gift in it all is that once we get a semblance and a little picture of why I created what I'm creating, then I can take responsibility for it. And the gift in all of it is that I grow, I heal, I become more happy, at peace, in harmony with all of life. Those are the gifts that come to me for the work that I do for me. That's not as easy, especially for the viewing audience. It's not as easy as I'm saying it. However, I have
No.
good news. I have good news. I have been learning about me for 78 years. And I will tell you this, I am happy, content, and when I have a contrast that comes to me, I'm able to switch around instantaneously, see it for what it is, a contrast, look at the emotion that I have about it, release and let go of that emotion, and I'm back in happiness and peace and harmony.
Yeah.
So that's the gift that we're all wanting to bring to ourselves through what you and I are talking about, the journey of self-discovery.
Right. Right. You know, that part about taking responsibility, I think that is one of the ones that is such a challenge because we don't get taught. We don't have that example of what taking responsibility looks like. You know,
We
we
don't.
live in such a world right now, especially when you look everywhere. I mean, so many people just don't take responsibility. And so when we're not having that as a model, when there's not been that part, because a lot of our parents didn't take responsibility in whatever way, shape, or form. So it's kind of like, when you're learning those tools and it's about taking responsibility, one of the key things with taking responsibility, and I know you know this, it's like a lot of times people won't take responsibility because there's judgment, you know, and oh, I've done this. I don't want to be responsible for that. I've
Yes.
had whatever going on. I don't want to be responsible for any of it.
Yes.
And, you know, I want to be able to say, well, it's their fault because certainly it wasn't about me. They did whatever. That's why I'm where I'm at right now. But as long as you're pointing the finger in the other direction, you can't change it. It's always going to be on that other person, and you're always going to be on the victimization
Yep.
loop.
Yep. You're on the
So,
treadmill. That's right. You're on the
yep,
treadmill. But the minute that you do allow yourself to really look at and feel what's going on in your body, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your feelings and emotions, when you really allow yourself to go there and to look at that, therein lies the ability to grow. If you're on the treadmill, there is no growth. If you're on the treadmill, that treadmill, like the squirrels, continue to go around and around and around. And you know, you can spend a whole lifetime doing that, and many do, there's no wrong about that at all. That's right and true for them. I believe that there is no right and no wrong. There just
I
is
agree.
in this moment of now, this experience. I'm the one that says it's right or wrong. I'm the only one that can do that for me. Nobody else can do
Right.
that for me.
Right.
So I truly believe that there are people that incarnate in have this lifetime experience, maybe all the way to 80 years of age, and never get what you and I are talking about. And I will say that is this lifetime for them, and it's right and true for them. But those that are searching, those that have the um, will or desire to see or feel more. And here's how that happens. When you have the desire to see and to feel more, you have come to the place of no return. It's in your face. You say, I can't do this anymore. I can't take this anymore. It's too much for me. I'm out of here. And that's when the magic happens, because someone, something, a book, a radio program, a television show, something comes to you that has a little bit of an answer, a little bit of an intriguing question, or a comment that you go, yeah, yeah, that's me. I want to know more about that. And that's when you take the next step. So
Right.
I really feel that those that have an in your face experience over and over of not wanting to live, not wanting to continue on, those are the people that are prime for seeing that there is something else that they are missing. And a lot of times it'll happen very magically. Nobody else around, nothing. A bird is singing outside your window and is perched on your window. And you think, oh, that's so nice. That's so beautiful. And all of a sudden, in your mind, you're going, I know that there's more that I don't know, and I want to find out. So that's why you do what you do, Audrey, and that's why I do what I do. You and I have our own lives. I have my own life to live, a daily mundane life. You have a daily mundane life. Not so mundane, neither is mine, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the daily routine. You and I have that just like everybody else does. What sets us apart from those people that come to you and ask you to help them? What sets me apart from people coming to me and say, I really need to talk to Golden Arrow? And I say, absolutely. And I set up a time and I go into trance. I allow Golden Arrow to speak. I don't even know these people. These people are strangers to me. And here's the thing, I don't need to know them. You don't need to know your clients either. What you need to know is how you have captured emotions in your life, those triggers that you call it in your life, so that you can share with them how it is that you made it through those triggers and how you are growing through those triggers now. It just so
Right.
happens that I'm on the upper end of my life's journey and have had a lot of experiences, and so I have a lot to share with people. Everything that I went through, the from not being wanted, not being loved, to wanting to take my own life and end my life, I went through all of that also. And here I am, and I can say to you and to our audience, those that are listening and watching, it's not hard. If you love you, you are worth it. You are worth going through these dramas and these emotions to be where I'm at in life, in loving every minute of every day of my life. You are worth that. So there's a silver lining. to life and to our journeys. There is always a silver lining. No matter what your life is like, no matter how hard it is, no matter how emotional it is, it's just in this moment of now that you're having this. There's another moment. This too shall pass.
I just had some clients that I was working with, and these two were in their, like, say, early 30s. And, I'm 62, you're 78. You're amazing. There's a wisdom to being the ages that
Yeah.
we're at. And I was
Yes.
telling this couple, because this one of them is really having a moment of who are they? And a lot of people are really questioning, I'm not happy. I thought this would make me happy or that would make me happy. And then a lot of people have defined themselves with those things that they're supposedly supposed to be happy with. They define themselves with their career, with money, with prestige, whatever it is that
Things.
they define
Things.
themselves with. And
Yeah.
so with this one person, they're just almost exactly half of my age. And so I told them, I said, when I was your age, I was going through it. I mean, I was in the middle of my, you know, stuff. And it's important to get whatever age you are, you know, it's important that there is a reset button.
Yeah.
A lot of people get stuck in the habit. Like when we're talking about on the loop. It's like here we are on the 101 freeway and the greatest things are happening and the goals are like in San Francisco. But what happens is they go on the off ramp and they just keep on the off ramp over there and get stuck, and it's really important. The feelings are the things that will get you unstuck. And so
Yeah.
many people, it's like, I want to dissociate from those feelings. I really don't want to be present with that because they think it's too painful, not realizing because it's just so where they're at that this is just their normal. But if we're
Yeah.
not happy, if we're not flourishing, if we're not abundant, if we're not in the usual day-to-day joys of life, you're on the off ramp. And
Yeah.
it is absolutely well within your means to get on the on ramp and hit San Francisco.
Or at least get on the on ramp. Whether you make it to San Francisco or not is not the issue. You're back on the on ramp.
Yeah.
You're
And
back
having
on
fun
track.
on the journey.
Yes.
Right. But
Yes.
people want to have what they want to have, like I've had people, they want a career of some sort or they want a partner in their life. And there is that intention. And
Yeah.
so you're on the road and you're hitting your intention when it keeps feeling good and better and better. And when you're not feeling good, you've gone off the ramp and you're over in Bakersfield or Lompoc, as I say. So it's important to really get that piece of the triggers, those feelings. It's like be with them.
Yes.
It's like there seems to be a fair amount of depression at the moment, and anxiety is very, very prevalent. And a lot of it is what's happening in the world. People start imagining what they think that the world is going to look like and not being present in the moment. Is it happening right now? Probably not. Is your life okay right now? It probably is in a lot of ways, and it could be a lot better. But they go way down the road to, oh my God, we're going to be whatever that thing is. So it's a really interesting moment to check yourself,
How about having a detour to Lompoc and enjoy being in Lompoc
right?
for those moments or for those months or for that year, whatever? How about taking a detour and loving the detour, loving whatever is there in the detour? That's where we get stuck. We we get on a detour and then we judge that we shouldn't be on the detour. We judge that, oh, we took a wrong turn, and aren't I stupid, and blah blah blah,
Yep.
all the crap that we, pardon me, but seriously, all the stuff that we put ourselves through because we allow, now let's go one step farther, because we allow our brain to spin us up on this squirrel on the wheel, we allow our brain to say, you're bad and you did this and you're on the detour and you're not doing this or you're doing that or whatever. We allow our brain to spin us up in that and make it big and make it become a drama, because it's not worth it. If it's not huge and it's not a big deal, then it's not worth even talking about, right? No. In fact, when we talk about it, it even gets bigger and more expansive, because now I'm hearing it and I'm verbalizing it, and I took a little detour, but this detour to Lompoc had you would not believe what it had involved in it. So
Right.
we create the dramas and how big those dramas are going to be. And here's the thing: if it's not a drama, then it's not worth talking about. So I've got to make it worth talking about. So I have to make it bigger. I have to elaborate a little bit more when it was just like this, but now it's got to be this because it's not worth it otherwise. So actually, what we're doing is just playing a game with ourselves. We're playing a silly game of, one, needing to be right, two, needing to be important, and three, placing blame on everything and everybody other than who set it all up in the first place, which was me.
Right. I was in that conversation. It's funny, these things just happened in that session. And I was explaining it's all right to be depressed. And I was giving a story of years ago. My life was really good in a lot of ways, but I was in the middle of my hypnotherapy training, and I was dealing with the kid in the back seat, dealing with that part of me that wasn't loved, and looking at certain things. I don't want to go into the details, and a certain person in my life, and I was fully in it. I mean, I was in smack dab the heart of nastiness, and we won't name a city, but I was in it. And I remembered this one day, I was just judging myself. I shouldn't be miserable, but I'm feeling all of this. And as I was standing in my front yard, I used to have this beautiful tree in my front yard, and it was in the winter, it was December, around Christmas time. And I was looking up at that tree, and I noticed that the little tiny buds were there, for the leaves to be coming out. And as I was looking at those leaves, it was like, you know, it's all right to be in this moment. It's all right to be in this space and have these hard feelings going on. And, what am I gaining from this? What am I to learn here? And I was fully just being in it. And then as I'm looking at those leaves and looking at the tree, it's like, well, I'm kind of in the winter, and I'm in this solitude, and I'm in this introspective mode, like in the cocoon. And as I was looking at it and those little buds, I looked at it and it's like, when those leaves come out, this is going to be done. It's going to be better. So you have
Good.
to, in any given moment, find that way to be in the depression instead of resisting it, instead of thinking, judging it, whatever it is we do with it, making it okay, and then asking, as I've learned how to do, asking the number one driver, show me, just show me what I'm to learn here, and show me the road signs to move forward in a way that is empowering. And I did, obviously.
Yes, me too. Same thing, exactly the same thing. And all of our journeys, all of our lives are, they all have a similar basis. All of us, when we choose to have an incarnation in a physical body that's confined, we can't get out of it. We're stuck with it. We're in it. Um, we all have similar experiences, similar feelings, similar emotions, similar uh, um, uh, life journeys, because we're all in a confinement body. So I can say this easily: we're all in this together. We all have a body, a somewhat of a body. Everybody has a different experience in a body, but we all have this confinement experience. So we're all in this together and learning why we came here in the first place. And it's all one answer. We all came here to learn about ourself in relationship with all of life and to grow and to become more. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that. I have a comment, Audrey, on depression. Depression is a gift. It makes us stop and go within. Why am I depressed? And what is this depressed feeling? What is this feeling of unhappiness, of being unloved? Or there's always depression takes different forms depending on the person, depending on the personality. When I was depressed and I had, I would say 3 or 4 full years of depression, free of drugs. I never did any type of medication or anything. I just knew my children were taken away from me when they were 4.5 and 2.5 by a religious organization that I was involved with at the time. And I was very depressed about that I, one, had no communication with them, didn't even know where they were because the church took them away. And so I went through several years of depression. But that depression had the gift. It got so extreme that I was looking at different ways of ending my life because I was so unhappy, so depressed. And what came to me was a woman who had a book that I met her in a health food store, a stranger, and she had a book that she thought I would like to read. She knew that I was depressed. I read that book and cover to cover in one afternoon, and in that book were the answers that I needed, that I didn't even know I needed. And that started me on the journey of who I am today. But without that depression, which is a gift, if you're depressed, I get it. And I feel your depression because I've been there. I experienced it for several years. But let me tell you, the other side of that is the gift for you. And that is that, one, you're going to come out of it and you're going to be bigger and stronger and better for it because of it. And the gift is going to be that you're going to learn more about you through it. So for those of you who are experiencing depression, I just want you to know that you can look in the next moment of now, seriously, in the next moment of now, whether it be tomorrow or the next day or the next month or the next 4 or 5 months, whatever, it doesn't matter. The next moment of now, you're going to understand a little bit more about you, and the answers are going to be there that you now do not have. So
Right.
be empowered with this depression and know that it won't be long. And in the next moment of now could be your answer and could be the magic that you're looking for. So never stop looking, never stop interacting, never stop reading, because the answers are there for you. And that's why the people come to you and to me. That's why you have clients that come to you. They are searching for the more of who they really are, that they don't know that they are.
Right. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm looking at the time. I can't believe it's already 6:41. Can we bring in Golden Arrow?
Sure.
We can just
Because
talk all night, you and I.
because you and I have such great conversations. That's why. Okay, see you in a little bit.
Okay.
Well, greetings to you. Greetings to you indeed. Truly, it is a delightful experience for us to be here with you, to interact with you, but far more importantly, to commune with you in this way. Truly, it is a delightful experience for us. For you see, as non physical beings, not being in a body, it gives us an opportunity to take a look at how you all are doing on this planet that you call Earth. How you are doing in this body that you created, that you chose, with these people that are around you, that you chose to be around you, to help you grow and to become more. It is important for all of you to know and to understand that this is not an accident that you are here. It is not a coincidence at all that you are having the experiences that you're having, or that we are here in this, what you call a podcast, this communication that we're having here with all of you and with this Audrey personality. There is no accident or coincidence about it at all. You all are here to hear these words, to feel these words and these emotions that come to you for you to grow and to become more. The only reason why all of you chose to have a body and to have an earthly experience is to grow and to become more as the spiritual being that you really are. You are much more than this body. You are much more than this mind or this brain. You are so much more than that, because you came in from a soul experience, a vibratory experience of being, as we call it, non-physical. You first were a vibration, a soul that is inhabited within this physical body that you call by your name. This soul is 100% love. You can trust everything that this soul has for you to experience, and know that this experience is right on target, right on purpose for why you came here. You also have guides and teachers that are non-physical, that are just spirit, that are just vibration, that are with you from the moment that you incarnate and take your first breath until the time that you drop this body. You have guides and teachers that are here for you. So it is up to you to learn and to ask who they are and what they can do for you. As a non-physical being, it is important that we share with you that having a body is just a simple physical, emotional experience. But with a soul, you are combined with the non vibratory or the non-physical vibration with this body that you call by your name. You are one with your soul. And your soul has every incarnation that you've ever had and will have future. Your soul has within it all knowing, because the soul is a vibration from the source of all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be, that you call God, or whatever name in your particular part of the world call that supreme being. Your soul is that portion, vibration from the supreme being, all that is. So wouldn't you like to know what your soul knows about you, having this physical experience?
Absolutely.
So that information is available to all of humanity. All you have to do is learn how to listen and hear and receive the vibration of what it has for you to know about this life experience for you. From our perspective, having a human form as you all do, the easiest, simplest, and fastest way to 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 learn how to hear and understand the vibration that your soul holds is through the art of meditation, quieting the mind, quieting the brain so that the brain does not have to think, because you see, the soul vibration is what you would call the overseer of it is your brain. And your brain is the one that creates all of your emotionality that you have that you call drama. Your soul is 100% love. So there is conflict, yes, between your brain and your soul. And that is what you are all experiencing when you use the term depression. It is the conflict between your soul and your brain not listening or being overplayed, overrun, so that you cannot hear your soul. So as you practice quieting the mind through the art of meditation and the practice of meditation, you will come to feel and know the vibration that is coming from your soul versus coming from your brain that holds all emotionality. The soul has no emotions at all. Do you understand?
I do. I do. I think we have, like people tell me all the time, it's like, I can't quiet my mind. I can't stop thinking. I'm an overthinker, all these things. And there is this belief that people have in order to meditate that they have to sit down, be still, really silence everything. And if people have a challenge with that, I think it's important to understand there's all these different ways to quiet the mind. There's walking meditations, there's all different kinds of, I meditate when I'm cleaning the house. I meditate in all kinds of ways. So can you elaborate more on different ways, especially people who have such busy minds? I mean, somebody just told me the other day they've never been able to meditate because their mind is just too busy. So when somebody doesn't have um, that understanding of what that means to slow down, and then they have resistance because they just have never been able to do it. Can you give some ways to meditate that they can start with?
Yes. So, firstly, let's take a look at why the mind and the brain is so active. It is because you, as a personality, have lived this life to the age that you are, whatever age that is. You have lived with your brain leading you around, giving you creative ideas, creative thoughts, excuses why this is happening, excuses why that is happening. Your brain comes in fully functionable. When you are 3 or 4 days old, the brain tells the mother and the father everything. They're hungry, their diaper is wet, whatever it is. But what is happening is the infant is crying, needing to be heard, needing to be
Hmm.
taken care of. So that is the brain's function on a spiritual foundation or basis. The whole purpose of the brain is to keep you alive at all costs. And think of the little baby, to keep you alive at all costs. So the brain is going to create body reactions to hunger, to having a wet or a dirty diaper, or yelling or screaming that is going on around them within the household environment. The brain is going to keep that baby alive at all costs. You understand?
Hmm.
So as you mature and grow, that brain becomes very active. And when one says, my brain is so active that I cannot calm it down or stop it. I cannot meditate. Firstly, whatever age that individual is usually over the age of 25 or 28, edging towards the age of 30, because that is rarely the first time that a person of that age even thinks about meditation. It is an excuse that that I cannot turn my brain off. And let us say this to you: you're firstly a soul. Secondly, you're having a human experience. So why not ask your soul to override your brain and keep it quiet for the amount of time that you want to see what the soul has for you to know? Do you
I
understand?
love that. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, as far as different ways to meditate, check them all out. Check out a CD that you listen to help you quiet your mind. The singing bowls. Create that environment for yourself. Go to meditation classes and learn how to do the step by step of quieting not only your mind and your brain, but allowing your body to be at peace and to totally relax. Meditation is the key, one, to longevity, to a long life. Secondly, it will give you the doorway to knowing your soul's guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So, meditation is key. You can sit on the beach and just be taken with the surf and the ocean. You can, as you say, Audrey, for you, clean your house. It is a mundane thing that you are doing, but it allows you to not interact and be involved with your brain activity. Now, from our standpoint, the simplest and easiest way for all of you to quiet your mind is to state an intention, stating this: we intend and declare that our mind is at ease and at peace and does not have to think while we are going to be meditating and quieting it. Thank you so much. And so it is. A
Love
matter of making a statement of intention that you are asking your brain to do this, and your brain is a cellular thing. It is made up of cells. It is physical. And your brain follows instructions, the instructions that you give it, because you are the driver of your brain. You
Right.
did not know that as a child growing up. Your brain guided you through all of the experiences that you had. Now, understand that you are in control of your brain, and you can make the statement: we are asking you not to think for the next 10 minutes. We are going to be quiet. And your brain, without saying anything, acknowledges that, must acknowledge that, and allows you to be in those moments.
Right.
You just have not realized that you can instruct your brain to think whatever it is that you desire for it to think. It is cellular.
Right. I think there's another thing that I like to add to it because I have seen this so much. Add to it that I am safe. My brain can be off. I don't need to protect myself in this moment, and I am free to disengage from that kind of activity. I don't have to worry. I am safe.
Yes, all right.
I see it. I see it with clients and whatnot. I
Yes,
can't even
but
believe we're
let us
running.
say this:
Go ahead.
you are safe always. Your
Yes.
soul is in charge. You can make that statement to yourself because you're only making it to yourself and to your brain.
Yeah.
You are always safe, knowing that no matter what you experience in life, no matter what comes your way, you are safe always. Because whatever the experience is that you are bringing to you, and you truly do bring them all to you. You're not a victim ever. You're the creator of every experience that you have and will ever have in each lifetime experience. You're
Right.
always the creator, never the victim. So whatever the experience is, and let's say that it is a dramatic one, you as a human says, now why would I want to bring that upon myself? And we say to you, to help you grow and to become more. How are you going to handle it? Hmm?
Right. Right. Just fabulous. Um, Golden Arrow, I just thank you so much for your time. We're looking at the end of our time here. My clock is saying that we're running out, so
All
I
right,
would
so
like to
let's leave the body then at this moment of now. And we offer then to you and to you all blessings,
thank
peace,
you.
harmony, and joy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So be it.
So while she's coming back in, there's another part of all of this I used to have a challenge with, and I'd like to invite you to really ask, ask your guides, ask the first driver for direction, ask for what it is that you're intending. I didn't ask for the longest time. And once I started asking, I got answers and I got
Yeah.
direction. And I think that's a very big thing to do. I love it when you come back in, Alexandra. There's something about it. It always just tickles me. You're like a kitten. It's so cute. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me on. And thank you for the great conversation, Audrey. It's always a pleasure talking with you. And it's more of a pleasure always with you because one, you understand, and two, you're getting it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alexandra, how can people get a hold of you for a session or
So,
any?
yep. So you can email me at goldenarrowchanneling and the number 9 at gmail.com. So that's goldenarrowchanneling9 at gmail.com. And you can call my cell phone. The number is 951-315-8170.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to be having you on again soon. And in case people missed it, you were on Nick's Mainstream Metaphysics last Tuesday.
Yes.
So you guys can go back and check out that show as well, because it's always fascinating with you. I just love you so much. And Golden
Oh,
Arrow, thank you, thank you.
well, back at you, girl. Oh, I think
And
we
you're going
have
to be here.
yeah, April 27th, is it?
Yes,
I
I'm
think that's
looking at
on a
my
Sunday.
calendar. Yes, it's going to
Yes,
be April 20, actually. Is it April? No, it's April 28th. It's a Saturday, correct? So, oh no,
uh,
I'm looking at June. I'm sorry.
no,
May.
it's the 27th. It's on a Sunday,
Yes, yes, yes. The 27th on a
April
Sunday.
27th. So I'll be live in Agoura Hills at the Newmont Center,
Yep,
where Golden Arrow will be interacting with everybody that's there. You can attend, I think, live, right? You can
yep.
come to Newmont Center as well. Are you going to have it also on Zoom or something like that as
We
well?
will be having it on Zoom. We'll be having it live as well. Also, talk about your book that's right behind you as well. We didn't get to that, but share where they can get your book as well.
Yeah, who are you and what are you doing here? So, this book is fully channeled. It was several channelings that I did for the book, so it's specifically designed to reach anybody out there. So you can get it on Amazon. Um, that's really, I think, the only place that you can get it. You can get it in my store in Lake Arrowhead, but how many people are going to come in my store, right? from
So
from
you do have that
other
fabulous store in
from,
Arrowhead.
from other
Alexandra's
countries.
Emporium, for those of you that head up there, it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it's a fun store. In
Yeah.
fact, I just got back from doing my buying, my spring and summer buying last week before last. So I'm going to have all my new spring and summer things coming in the next few weeks. So exciting for me. It's like Christmas, right?
I think I might have to make a little trip up there to visit you in person.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Definitely.
thank you again so much. And you and I will schedule another time for you to be on here very soon. And
Awesome.
much love to you, Alexandra, seriously, and give Hugh my best as well.
I will. To you
All
too,
right.
Audrey, and to Nick and your daughters
Thank you. Thank you.
and
I'll
your
chat with
and
you
your
soon.
and your animals.
Yes, the little beastly critters.
Yes.
All right,
Bye.
sweetheart.
Bye for now.
And much love to everybody that's watching. And I'll be back again next week on Wednesday. Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.